Our Child Participation Guidelines on Online Discussions with Children offers some guidance on ensuring measures on safeguarding children, designing the program, and facilitating and moderating the online child participation activities. In this video, we will talk about designing the program of our online activities with children. We can organize different forms of activities virtually, and the challenge for us is to make sure that we adapt our working methods according to the children's evolving capacities. We create an enabling environment that builds their confidence to participate and share their views. We provide them with the necessary support and resources, and we give them adequate time to prepare and form their opinions. Here are some factors to consider to make sure that our program designs are child-friendly, inclusive, and safe. We have to decide on the length of our online activity, and this will be highly dependent on the activity objectives and the roles of children. For example, a learning session may require 1 to 2 hours only, but children's consultations with child co-facilitators may take longer and may even require several sessions spaced between days. Our decisions on the length of our online activities will also be affected by the backgrounds and situations of the children we want to involve. For example, younger children typically need shorter sessions compared to teenagers. And when we have a group of children coming from different cultures, or when we have children with disabilities involved, we consider the time required to accommodate their needs. The number of children also affects our decision on the length of our online activity. Our program should have enough time for all children to share their experiences, ask questions, or provide inputs. Usually, big groups need more time because there is a need to conduct breakout groupings to have deeper discussions. We can ask children to help us decide on how we can divide the group. We also have to consider the children's preferences. Our online activity should fit into the children's school schedule, household responsibilities, and other commitments. The children can tell us the best time for them to participate in our programs. When deciding the length of our online activity, another consideration is the familiarity of children with one another. In activities involving children, establishing rapport and building trust with other participants is crucial, but these require time. So, if the children have not met one another yet, we should have introductory or getting to know you sessions to build the children's confidence and make them more comfortable to participate. Lastly, we need to be aware of the children's access to digital devices and internet connection. Taking into consideration the digital divide, we may need to have shorter sessions if we are working with children who, for example, do not have their own device, have internet connection limitations, or live in areas where there are regular electricity power cuts. By the way, if our online activity involves a child speaker among a panel of adults, we try not to put the child as the last speaker so that if the child's internet connection becomes problematic, we have time to troubleshoot. In designing our online activities with children, another factor to consider is the time for breaks. Sitting for long periods of time or staring at a screen for too long can have adverse effects on physical health and can also bring down the energy level and attention of children. To avoid these, we should try incorporating different types of breaks. We can have health breaks. Children and other participants can grab something to eat, drink water, or go to the bathroom. We can have movement breaks. These are icebreakers or physical activities that encourage children to move, stretch, or do some kind of motion. We can let children do their own movements, or we can prepare or ask children to suggest choreographed actions for others to copy. We just have to make sure that these actions can be done by all children involved, including children with disabilities. We can also have sensory breaks to give children a moment to pause. Health breaks and movement breaks are sensory breaks too, but sensory breaks can also include deep breathing exercises with eyes closed. Designing the program of our online activity also means deciding on which online engagement tools to use. Slide presentations might be the most straightforward and most accessible tool. Still, we could start exploring new ones to increase engagement during online activities. In deciding which tools to use, we have a few things to consider regarding accessibility. We have to know the number and type of device needed. Some children only have one device, and they may be using this to connect to the video conferencing platform. So, if the online engagement tool requires a second device, the children who only have one will have difficulty taking part. To overcome this barrier, we can either use another tool or keep using the tool with adjustments. We also have to consider the images and text in our online engagement tools. Using more images and less text is important when making child-friendly presentations and interfaces. We should also remember to make the font size large enough for children on mobile phones. Time limits in online engagement tools also affect the accessibility of some children. Some tools allow organizers to set a time limit to submit answers or inputs. Although this can add excitement, it can put certain groups of children at a disadvantage, such as children with disabilities, children not speaking the language, and children with slow internet connections. As part of our program design, we need to select our online activity platform. Whether we are looking for an online survey platform or a video conferencing app, there are some aspects we need to take into consideration. One is accessibility. Can our participants access it at no cost? Can both laptop and mobile users use it? Are children familiar with it, and would they be happy and confident to use it? Another aspect is the features available on the platform. Does it have the option to include translation, sign language interpretation, closed captions, or other inclusive features that we need? Can we use it with our identified online engagement tools? And finally, we should look at the platform's child safeguarding features. Can we disable its private messaging function? Can we make it password protected? Can it accommodate the measures we set in our child safeguarding policy and code of conduct? These are some of the things that can guide our decisions when designing the program. And in making these decisions, we can always involve children and empower them to co-create these child-friendly, inclusive, and safe online platforms.